nice. Perfect. So, are you also doing with us today?
Not today, but I know, I have seen it.
Is the audio video all okay?
Yes. It was a little blur some time back, but now it's fine.
Wonderful. Perfect. So here we have our rough sheet, and on this rough sheet, write down fundamental shapes. This is actually a very interesting one because from nothing, very basic shapes, you start creating patterns and designs, and you can start creating layers, and then you completely make one full mandala. And that's a beautiful journey to watch. While I said journey, this reminded me of one more thing. There's an instruction for all of you, rather a suggestion for all of you. While doing this work together, try not to let any other thought enter your mind today, okay? No other thought, nothing related to this household chores, nothing related to the kids around, nothing related to office, nothing related to anything else, studies, office, nothing. It's just going to be you and the work that you are going to do. Okay? I'll tell you why I'm saying this later. So write it down. Number 1, dot. Number 2, circle. Number 3, lotus. Number 4, line. Line can be vertical, can be horizontal, can be slant.
Ma'am, just a minute. There are people saying that it's blur. Is it blur for everyone? Priyaki, I can see you. Oh, is it blur for you? Now it's okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Number 5, leaf. Number 6, petal. Number 7, drop. Number 8, spiral. The spiral can be in the clockwise direction, in the anti-clockwise direction. All of this is right. Why are we writing this down? Because if you have noticed a mandala, I can't hear you, ma'am. Sohina, could you just confirm if the voice is audible?
To me, it is fine, absolutely. I guess she would have to join back or something.
Okay.
Ma'am, you can continue.
Okay. So why have we written down all of these points here? The reason why we've done this is because all of these shapes that you see here on the screen, they come with a value. They come with a meaning. And these meanings are collectively showcased in a mandala that you draw or you see. In general, say it is like a habit of ours. If today I keep telling Sohina that, Sohina, you are a brilliant mandala artist. For the next 1 month, I'm going to tell her the same thing, that you are a brilliant mandala artist. After a month or 2, she's going to believe it. And with this belief, she's actually going to create something really, really meaningful and beautiful because of the energy associated. The same thing happens with mandala. Since every single thing here is on a positive note, it is something which is on an optimistic note, on a positive note. If that is the case, everything I create, every single time, I will always be reminded of the positivities associated. For example, dot talks about concentration and focus. It talks about point of origin. It talks about something which is a starting point or an ending point. Something that is, the entire universe at one place, one dot of it. Circle talks about abundance. It talks about infinity. It talks about freedom. It talks about liberty. And circle is something which is used in mandala to showcase or to symbolize soul, S-O-U-L. Which is the reason mandala is said to be a journey inward. Here you are not doing it for decoration purpose. The sole purpose of creating a mandala is for an inward journey. You introspect, you retrospect, or you do a mindful activity. Lotus. Lotus is all about not being disturbed by whatever is around us, by an external factor. you rise and shine for your own self. And that is what is the take that we have from a lotus. So this is what you take as a takeaway basically. Line, if it is a generic art or a generic thing, line so shows something which is something which is parted, something which is where there's a difference, right? Something which is divided. But in mandala, the line also shows that these two things are coming to one place, like a horizon. Two things coming to one place. And what is a horizon? It's not just a fancy word that we are using in the world of mandala. It's not just about the divine, etc. Here you are saying a place or a balance of mental health and physical health, emotional health and physical health. That is what you are symbolizing. Leaf. Mandala is highly influenced by nature, and which is why you will also see leaf petal as a design used in mandala. Drop. Drop is a symbol of humility, being humble. Drop says, one drop of water from the ocean of knowledge. That is what we all have. And the importance of being humble about it. Spiral. Spiral talks about movement. It says, no matter what, I will continue my movement. I will continue moving ahead in life, no matter what. Maybe there is a roadblock and I will slow down my pace. But that's okay, but the movement won't stop. And that is the kind of inspiration that we take from mandala. And from all of these things, one thing that would genuinely occur to you is it's a highly positive art form. When every meaning of this is so positive, think about next time when you're creating this piece of work, and the next time, and the next time, and you tell yourself, this is what it actually means. This is a journey inward. I'm working on this for myself. I have a responsibility towards myself, right? So it is going to make your overall conduct a little calmer, your overall conduct a little more concentrated and focused, a little more patient day by day. Okay, you all are asking about leaf and petal. Leaf and petal, both of these are nature-based symbols, right? So be it leaf, be it petal, all of these are talking about an inspiration from nature. You end up using nature-based patterns quite a lot in mandala. All right. Now, okay, fine. We have this thing here in front of us. Drop is about being humble. We have these things in front of you. What do we do about it? Does it, get formed into a mandala automatically? No. No, that's not how it works. So what do? For mandala, we need symmetry. We need reference. For that reason, we first and foremost make a grid. What kind of grid? Make a circle around. I know that there is this is a little blurred. Hold on for a couple of minutes. I'm just drawing a few circles right now. Don't worry. So we will first and foremost start with a circle around 8 centimeter in diameter. And we will reduce it a little bit, somewhere around 0.5 centimeter. Make another one. And one more. You don't have to measure anything, everyone. Okay? Don't measure. Just enjoy the process of creation. Think of this as a personal creative project. No need to measure, no need to, spend a lot of time on these basic things. No. Enjoy the process of creation. There will be plenty of time when I will be teaching about symmetry, about the techniques and rest of the things. Right now, this is the time where you experience how it makes you feel. So I have ended up making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total of 6 concentric lines. Why have we made this? We have done this because for your mandala, you would need reference points, reference lines, reference layers, and you need symmetry. Once you have done that, you will divide it into equal parts. And that is what we are going to do, but without any tools. We're just going to use scale for this. So use a scale and mark a line, right, passing through the center. And very light, folks. Very, very, very light. This is only for your reference. So make it really light. If I make it very light, you will not be able to see. So I'm making it a little dark. For yourself, keep it light. Divides it into 2 equal parts. But I want it to be divided further. Because right now it is not helping me in any way exactly on the center. With the help of the existing horizontal lines on the scale, we place it on the existing line. Okay, you have already marked this horizontal line. Place the scale at the center, and in a way that these lines fall on one of these lines fall on the existing line. Any of these can fall on the existing line. Why do you need that? You just need to mark 90 degree, and which is why you have done this. See, these lines, if you actually place it anywhere and you mark the line, it will automatically make it into 90 degree. So now you have 4 divisions. Is it sufficient? Maybe, depending on the design. But for our design, we need a little more help. So what we are going to do is, Surya, I'm not going to teach using a protractor because I'm not sure how many of you do have protractor with you. I'm going by the easiest possible way in which you can make it. Everybody, even if somebody is not from art background, they can make it. Pick any of these lines and forget about the lower half. Just from the go by the upper half. I'm looking at this angle right now, this 90 degree angle. And here, pick any of these lines, these concentric circles. Say I picked this one. I look at it and I try to figure out where the center point is. Again, same thing. Here, I'll try to figure out where the center point is. Why do we need this? Because this is 90 degree. You need half of it, which is 45 degree. For half, you just need to mark a dot here. That's all is required. And the minute you have marked this dot, place your scale exactly on the center. Look around, see if things look fine. If yes, go ahead, mark it. Same thing. So I guess somebody needs help in the chat box. Not sure, you just share. No? Same thing on the other side also. Does it look equal to you? If yes, proceed. Okay, this is called your grid. Is it the only way in which the grid is made? No, there are many, many different ways of making the grid. This is one of the basic ways of making the grid. All right. What do we do next? Now we are going to start using the fundamental patterns that we had initially made. From circle, I am using a variation of circle and I'm using semicircle. Okay. What do I do? In the first layer, I'm going to make 2 semicircles. Is it necessary that I make just 2 only? I can make any. I can make 3, I can make 4, I can make 5. But whatever you have chosen to make, you have to do a repetition of that everywhere. The pen size that I've taken size 5. Why have I taken 5 size? Reason being, it is dark, broad, and you'll be able to see it even clearer if I use this one. Had I used size 2 or 3, maybe it would not have been very clear to you. Should you also use size 5? Not necessary. Go slow. There are 2 ways in which you proceed. First, you make the outer designs and then the intricate designs, or pick one layer, finish it off and go to the next layer. We can do any of these. I'm going to go by the second option today. What does that mean? It means I am now going to make intricate designs inside. All that I'm doing is converting this into a petal. Anyone, any problems that you're facing, drop it in the chat box, please. What next? After this thing, what I will be doing is I am going to pick 3 sections together. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Because I want to give it a look of a flower, a look of a petal kind of a thing. So what I'll do is I'll pick 3 sections together and this. Do the same thing on all, which means make the best use of the existing grid. Why did we do this? You know that you can use a lotus petal, right, for mandala, which also means you can use different variations of lotus petal, like this, or this, or this, or this, or so on and so forth. We should be using an art-based pen. I'm using a fine liner quality, and the brand that I'm using is Micron, size is 0.5. It's a good one, good pen for mandala, right? On the similar note, I'm just marking the center point here. Same thing on all the 4 sides that you have created, mark the center point. Once again, mark the center point. Once again, mark the center point. What do we do next? We would need to do an outline or double line here. And the reason why we need to do that is, if we don't do double line, the designs tend to get merged into each other, and which is why this is something which is required. There is no philosophical meaning or anything associated. It is just for aesthetics purposes. Is it necessary that I have to make 4 petals only? No, there's nothing like that. We made 4 petals so that you are able to understand that, okay, this is also a way in which mandala can be made. There's nothing like a fixed rule. I could have made the same thing on all the sections also. Right? Okay. Now what I'm doing is, I am marking this area. I'm just darkening it a little bit because I want to use this as a layer. Darkening this a little bit and a double line. Do the same thing on all the sides. Why did we do a double line here? So that the design becomes clearer. There is enough focus that falls here. There is a message I've not read. One second, please allow me some time and read and do it. So this is almost done. Ma'am, can you explain me what is petals? Can you show how to draw petal? Can you suggest types of pen to be used? Types of pens, wala thing till there I had answered. And the petal, how to do the petal? This one, okay. So what you did is, you went up, curved on both the sides. You mark the center point and you need this, okay? After this, you add a cushion on the edges and you will connect them. And a double line. Will you go slower, please? Okay, 1 second. Can we
No, Harshini, we don't provide any recordings or certificate.
Any questions still here? Whatever you have done, any questions still here? No, yes, no. Okay. Okay, one person is saying, can we go faster? Another person is saying, can you go slower? Very nice. So we'll maintain the pace that we are going at. And this area that you have here, this is a blank area. What do we do about that? A blank area is something where you can do any kind of shading, shadow work, or something which is more like a hatched kind of. So where, since you have used lines here, line as a concept, you can convert lines into hatches also, into checks also, right? This is another derivation that you can do from the same. And we are going to do the same thing. See, I'm going to use hatches in this area. Right? Repeat the same thing on all the four. Try to keep the direction of the hatches same, which is the reason I chose one thing which is easy to follow on the rest also. Distance should also be kept as same for all. And the direction should also be kept as same for all. Basically, the funda is you have got to be as symmetric as possible. Once again, so far, all that you have used, every single thing that you have used falls within the scope of the fundamental patterns that we discussed. We have done nothing other than that so far. And once more. We have tried to keep the distance between the lines also same, the direction also same, only to ensure symmetry of our work. Okay. Now you noticed that lotus is something that we use in mandala quite a lot. If you have seen mandalas before, you would have known this by now, right? But if you have not seen mandalas before, it's completely okay. You can take this as an advice from my side that we do take lotus as either an outer structure or a concept in mandala quite a lot, because mandala and lotus are quite well aligned with the overall concept of each other. Okay. Having said that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this area here, this area, for making lotus. Now, how do we do that? Always start with the center point. This area, always start with the center point. If I want to make something symmetric, I will always start with the center point. And my center petal. First, make the petal on all sides. Try to do a repetition as quickly as possible, because your muscle remembers the last movement, the previous movement, and the chances of you making errors would be little less. What do we do next? Now, this is the basic central petal. I want to make lotus. So I'm going to use this line and the baseline as my reference point. Do the same thing. We've done 3 here. Do the same thing here also. 1, 2, and 3. Repeat it on all 4 sides. One, 2, and 3. Same thing. Mandala is divided into three broad categories: teaching, healing, and sand. These categories are there just for us to understand the purpose of mandala. If the purpose of mandala is to impart knowledge or talk about something as a philosophy or a knowledge or an information or to pass on something, right? In that case, the mandala that we use, this is called a teaching mandala, teaching, just to teach. If the purpose of mandala is to establish the concept of impermanence, because in Buddhism, mandala is quite a thing. So if the purpose is to establish the concept of impermanence, mandala is used as a community project by Buddhist monks in a group. So it is like a group activity where they create huge pieces of mandala using colored sand, and upon creation, they completely erase it to understand, feel, comprehend, and convey the idea of impermanence. Okay. So far, we have made the basic structure of it, more or less going fine. Now, what you will do is, you have already made this area here, right? I want you to use lines in this manner. This will define the place. This will define the shape that you have made. It will add a little more depth to the shape that you have made. It will not get lost in the designs. We could have made it in the center also, lower part also, upper part also, or fully covered also. What else do we do? Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pick this section here, this area. Mark this shape. Why are we marking this shape? Because we want to convert this into a spiral. Once again, mark this shape because we want to convert this into a spiral. Once again, and once again. See if there is any fine tuning required. There was too much empty space there, which was not required, and hence we had to break it down into a smaller section. And which is why we converted this into a spiral-based design. Now what you will be doing next is one more line and convert this into a design. One more line. Once again, one more line, convert it into a design now. Same thing. Same thing. And same thing. Is this the only way in which you can make your spiral-based designs? No. This is one adaptation of spiral-based design. One way of making the spiral-based design. There are many, many, many more ways of making it. What do we do next? To me, this looks a little, this looks fine to me, but I feel if I add some colors to it, it would be nicer. So in order to add color, what I'll do is, I'll first erase the central part because it's already too covered with the grid. So I'm going to erase the section and I'm going to erase these sections because it's not required. The grid is no more required. This is all additional for me right now. Erase all the extras. Make sure there is no grid on the lotus. Right? Why did we do that? We did that because now we want to color it. How do we go about it? I'm going to use a pink color and a purple color for this. And I'm going to use a brush pen. Okay. If I just color pink, it might not look really pretty. So I'm going to add pink and purple to it. I'm leaving that up to you for your judgment. What colors do you want to put there? Don't make it something which is too much on the face. Which color is this? This is just like sketch pen. It is a brush pen that I'm using. Very easy to handle. Recommended for all who are just starting to work on any form of art. Good quality and durability. Could we have used any other color also? Yes, we could have, provided it is not too bright or not too overwhelming. And since it is lotus, I try to keep it in that manner. In the center too, I'm going to add the same color. We do have alternate sections empty. You might just use lines, these lines that you have noticed, right? You might just use these lines, or you might end up using any other alternate color also. Like here, I'm going to use purple color. Purple is a color of balance. It is a color of balance of personal and professional life, balance of nurture and aspirations, and hence a very good color for mandala. We are almost done with this. In the meantime, anyone who has any questions, drop it in the chat box, please. So Hina and I will make sure we answer all your questions. So Hina, what do you think? Is the surprise only there for those who have switched on the cameras?
Yes, ma'am. So I guess only Priyaki would be the one because she's been on camera since the beginning. So I guess I will just direct message her the surprise, and the rest are all hidden. Guys, no questions. अभी तक तो इतने questions पूछ रहे थे आप लोग. अभी पूछ लीजिए. Like this is the time when you can ask all your questions. We'll open the floor for all the questions that you guys have. Can you please repeat what does different shapes represent? Okay.
Okay, I will do that towards the end now, because it is going to take some time. So towards the end, I will do that. And you all can take a screenshot of this. Maybe in case you can take a screenshot of this.
Do we get the certificate of this mandala art, the one that you're attending right now? For this one, no, you would not be, but the master classes definitely would be giving you a certificate. 3 types of mandala Harshini is wanting to know.
Teaching, healing, and sand. You all can also take a screenshot of this. We will work on the fine tuning of this in just a while, and we will take some break so that the paint dries, and then we can do it.
Yes, ma'am. Before that, we would want to show, I would want to show some of the finished work that we had done in the previous master classes. Should I be showing it?
Done. Sure, yeah. You can show now.
I guess you'll be able to explain them better also what was actually done. Yes, ma'am. It's visible, right?
So this one, it's absolutely visible, Sumina. So this one was done as an adaptation of mandala or as a digital art. It was done for a luxury brand. It is a digital art. Again, this is also a digital art. And here this one was basically done to showcase what monochromatic mandala can look like. And also it was given out to the students of the masterclass as well. This symbol actually is called Ashtmangal. It is a mandalas, basically a mandala adaptation of Ashtmangal. Ashtmangal means Asht is 8, and these are the 8 spokes of the wheel. So it is a symbol of liberation, basically. This one is a moon mandala. Now, there are many phases of the moon, and each phase represents something. And this is also part of the masterclass as well. This one is done by changing the grid a little bit. If you remember, initially I was telling you that, is this the only way of making the grid? No, it's not. There are many ways of doing it. And this is one such grid changing possibility, grid altering possibility, on which the overall mandala is placed, and the overall look and feel of the mandala completely changes if you change the grid. How do you club any element with mandala? This one I will be teaching this part as well. Elephant is a very important subject in mandala. Reason being, elephant is about intellect, about the mind. And this is one sample which is actually used for telling you how to use symmetry for making any element along with mandala. How to use the grid itself. This is a part of chakras, and it was just an adaptation of the same. This one is a work in progress that I showed. It was acrylic on paper. This is acrylic on paper again. This was done for a project and using metallic colors. This one is on canvas.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't hear you, that's why.
Okay, all right. So this one is, again, another mandala. And this is done on a small canvas. It was done as a project again. You will be, somebody was asking this question, how do we decide on the colors of mandala, right? So there is a lot of logic that goes when it comes to the colors of mandala. It is not something which is where I can just tell you that, you have to do this combination. It is okay, you'll be able to do it, but you will never realize why you have done that, or you will never be able to express using that. This one is again another version of using mandala on black paper.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining.